Do you think Koval?
Let's not assume the worst. You'll find it, Doctor. Alive. I'm sure about that.
Someone's here. Koval? Don't do this to me. Not you. You're alive! Did you hear that, sir? Koval's alive.
I didn't doubt it for a second, Doctor. What's his current state?
Checking. Parameters normal, yet he's completely unresponsive. Koval? Koval! His eyes are so empty. Just like Krauter's. Koval! What the hell is wrong with you?
Are all the symptoms the same as Dr. Krauter's?
He's calm. Calmer.
Well, at least he's alive. Now listen to me, Yasna. The lander is on its way, but before you get Dr. Koval on board, I want you to do something. Yasna.
I'm listening.
Please look around for his journal.
It's everywhere. In pieces.
Not good. Koval was in radio contact with Dr. Gorski.
Taking notes.
That's exactly why it's so important. These notes may help us find our man.
I'll go over them, but it may take a while. Huh.
Have you found it?
No, it's, nothing about Dr. Gorski. Found them. Surprisingly accurate. He wrote down Gorski's every step.
Great. Let's get Koval to the evacuation area. Can you carry him, Doctor?
Won't be pretty hard in 1G. But the gravity here should make things a tad easier. Got him.
The Androbot with Krauter is also on its way to the site. You'll meet shortly.
The lander's already descending. Koval, look over there. You'll be on Dragonfly in a moment. Safe and sound. Well, safe.
Did he react?
Not at all.
Led to all this. Krauter, being married, now Koval, an unprecedented degradation of equipment, recurring connectivity issues. It all has to be related somehow. On the other hand, how could it be? There's not much on this planet. Some primitive life forms in the ocean, metal deposits in the ground. Although the latter got Dr. Gorski's interest, for some reason.
Nothing adds up. But I'm afraid it's our own fault. It was going so well before. We hadn't even considered the possibility of failure. Started digging right away. Taking samples. Not even trying to avoid potential threats. Koval was alone. Out of the signal's reach. Dr. Gorski wandered even further away. on his own. And Merritt... She...
Yasna? You there?
Yeah, sorry. I lost track of my thoughts. Don't even know what I wanted to say anymore.
That happens to all of us. Don't worry.
See you up there. Only Gorski's left. He might have made it quite far.
Agreed. Everything points to it.
I don't know how long I'll be looking for him. It might take hours before I come back.
We also don't know Gorski's condition, nor what he's going through.
All right. Dr. Gorski's next, but I'll be back for Merritt as soon as possible. I don't want to leave her like this.
You won't. I'll send the Androbot. Once Dr. Krauter is safe, she will fly with everybody. Back home. Status? What's new?
Well, nothing really. At least not in the last 5 seconds, sir.
Right. Thank you.
I'm leaving the excavation site. How did he come down? I've got Gorski's signal.
So soon? It's unlikely to be him.
Then who?
Not who, but what. It's weird. Dr. Gorski hardly ever parted with it.
With what? You're talking about the teleprobe.
Yes.
I located the probe. It's lying on the ground. Inactive.
Can't be completely broken if you picked up a signal. I'd say it's running in safe mode. Please try to power it on.
Do we have time for this?
It's for a good reason, Doctor. The probe could prove useful in the search. And besides, you'll see.
Okay. I'm opening the probe. Turning the systems on.
No, stop. Wait for my instructions. There's a button on the left side of the fuse box. Hold it, and then turn the dial again. Now go ahead.
Slide records?
Correct.
I didn't know we had access to them.
You couldn't have known. This is not standard procedure. But as they say, extremis malis, extrema remedia.
Let's take a look. Nothing interesting. Should I be looking for a specific location? Date?
The excavation site. 4th day of the mission.
I recognize these structures. This is where they began to dig. 12 hours passed. 3 crew members are still there. Dr. Gorski must have left already.
We lost contact shortly thereafter.
The probe followed him, and he followed the detector's readings.
Going after those metal structures.
Yes, that's what I meant.
What's next?
Last slide. There's mostly noise.
Nothing in particular stands out to you, Doctor? They were digging and suddenly, poof, people are dead?
No need to shout, Astrogator. I'm just letting you know what I see. That's all. Hang on. An absurdly high electromagnetic field reading.
That's something. Sort of. What are the earlier readings?
Checking. Still high in the slide just before. And earlier, quite normal. It happened in a matter of seconds. But there's nothing except dunes. Sand, a few rocks, a shadow.
Shadow?
Another sandstorm, I guess.
All right, Doctor. Let's move on. You may turn on the fuses now. We'll take the probe with us. Good. I've got it on my radar. Now I can give commands to the probe. And? What do you see? Is it working correctly?
It's not flying very smoothly. I guess it's still a bit broken.
Meaning? How?
It moves only in a straight line. Just up and down, then sideways. No complex moves.
Ah, don't worry about that. It's because I'm controlling it manually. I'll put it in auto mode. From now on, it will follow you, Doctor.
Oh, it'd be nice to have some company. I mean, apart from yours, sir.
1 second. That's odd. There's no data in the probe's memory. No ID, no nothing. Do you want to give it a new ID? Name it, basically. After all, it'll be with you for a while. So, what's it going to be?
Huh. A name for the teleprobe. All right, I can think of something.
Copy that. I'm listening.
Please enter Luna. L-U-N-A.
Done. Now, a few more tweaks, and you'll have a flying measurement center at your disposal.
I don't see these metal structures anywhere.
The only surface structure reported.
The detector's measurement is very clear. I'm going straight on.
No crossroads? Branches?
Not yet. Just one thick, tangled vein. I guess I found the first point.
You guess? We have to be sure, Doctor.
Well, I'm at the first clear branching of these structures, such as reported by Dr. Gorski.
All right. What happened next?
He followed the branch to the right. Another thing he reported was a massive vertical structure. okay, Luna? The probe detected something.
I see that in the readings. What is it exactly?
Well, the structure from the notes, it fits the description perfectly. Well done, Luna. I knew I could count on you.
Well, we didn't bring it to the surface for no reason. Even in the first stage procedure.
And now I'm gonna apply for my own.
As soon as you find Dr. Gorski, I'll see to it myself. All right, how about that point? What does it look like? What caught the doctor's attention?
The structure took a very straight course locally, going way down. It's sort of a pylon.
Do you think someone put it here? Built it?
It sounds absurd, yet seems so. The next point, the third one, is a metal bundle, running along the bottom of some water reservoir.
Interesting. An object as such should be easy to locate.
There's the water.
And the metal bundle?
As expected. It's at the bottom. Before you ask, sir, there's little to say about it.
All right. So how many are left?
2 points. Or at least that's what he told Koval. What he did next, it's hard to assess.
Well, the battery and the detector last for only a few hours, so he couldn't have gone much further.
The fourth point is a structure that fills a rock massive, on top of which he found surface structures.
Sounds like a crucial node in this whole system.
Gotcha. I found his tracks. Finally, some tangible evidence that he was going this way.
Good. It's downhill all the way, Doctor.
I wouldn't be so sure, Astrogator. The next point is at a height of approximately 100 meters. I think we have the fourth point. I confirm. It's the fourth one. I see our flag. Definitely uphill. I'm afraid I won't find him for a while. It's hard to see if these traces are fresh. This place is quite sheltered from the wind, so it could well have been hours since he left.
No more than 6, considering the time frame we have. Take comfort in the fact that on a cosmic scale, it is nothing.
Huh. Very comforting.
Yasna? Everything's all right?
Yes. I just need a moment to think.
As soon as you find something...
I'll report it. No worries, sir. The structures undergo noticeable changes here. If it keeps growing at this rate, I don't know what I'll find at the end.
What kind of growth are you talking about, Doctor? Depth, width, complexity level?
In every aspect.
Interesting. Do you think these veins lead somewhere? To something?
I'm leaning more and more towards that conclusion. But I can't tell what we might expect at the end, if it ends at all.
Three, 2, 1.
The land is departing.
Yes, they're on their way. Thank you for your assistance. Without your help, it would have taken much longer.
What's the plan for the second flight? The same place?
That would work best. Certain, proven. When you and Dr. Gorski come back, I'll send the lander right away.
I've reached the top. The doctor discovered something new from here. Something he called bushes.
Huh. I've heard that term before.
In their conversations between Koval and Gorski.
No, Yasna. You're the one who reported it to me. Right after you landed.
Seriously? Well, I don't see anything like it now, sir. Wait. Koval noted down the parameters. Azimuth 350. Distance 200 meters.
Copy that. I'm sending the probe.
Got it. I see the bushes.
And the doctor?
Hard to tell. Visibility is poor. It's gonna be harder than before. I don't know how the doctor...
When it comes to finding a safe route, there won't be a problem. But you'll have to get there on your own 2 feet.
I suppose the probe will carry out the first task. It's capable yet?
Of course. I set the environment analysis mode. The probe will calculate the best route between your location and your destination. It'll guide you along the defined path. The calculations will only take a moment.
Hi, Luna. Lead the way. I must say, it's a clever device, this probe of ours. Hey, could it fly for this long?
Yes. Longer than you can stand on your feet.
Sounds like the perfect research unit. Maybe even better than a human.
Well, let's not exaggerate.
Of course, I wasn't being serious. However helpful they may be, they're still just tools in the hand of man, often faulty. Oh, we have a problem.
Something serious?
I already mentioned the faulty machines, right? Well, the route determined by the algorithm goes over a chasm.
I can repeat the command.
No. I'll go around.
Unfortunately, this is an outdated model. Such mistakes are inevitable. But the perception module itself has already been greatly improved. Its accuracy increases exponentially.
Exponentially? Can you imagine us, proteinaceous creatures, developing so quickly, sir?
No, not in the course of evolution. You can't perfect a person like that.
That's right, you can't. We wait thousands of years for visible changes.
Have you started to fear for your position?
Well, everything indicates that the clear distinction between humans and robots will soon disappear.
And then what?
Well, if we assume that they'll surpass us, things will get complicated. Because in order to program a brain with computing power equal to that of a human, you need a brain with computing power higher than that of a human. Ergo, a man cannot make a machine smarter than a man.
Then who else would design it?
Self-learning algorithms? Some spontaneous process? Or pure chaos? Something inhuman, that's for sure. Shh. Astrogator, can you hear that?
What am I supposed to be hearing?
That's the point. Nothing. Silence. We're talking about robots, and Dr. Gorski still hasn't spoken on the channel.
Well, I don't know. He must be a long way from here.
Dr. Gorski, are you here somewhere? These bushes are kind of weird.
You better stay away, Doctor. I'd like a brief description. Just keep a distance.
Allow me to use the language I would use to describe living forms, sir.
Of course.
So they look like pituitary, brush-like formations. They grow out of cracks in the bare rock. They're high, more or less, from 1 to several meters. They can be singular, though in some locations they create a uniform thicket that covers the walls of the ravine in a rusty brush-like layer. That's how it looks, to put it briefly.
Would you also venture to guess their significance? Some function, purpose?
Staying on the topic of biological analogies, these bushes remind me of corals, in a purely visual category, because they're far from marine organisms. So I would guess that these are colonial structures, perhaps rock-forming ones. However, their main structure has nothing to do with corals. No noticeable mesenchymal tissues, no nidocyst, matocyst, or spirocyst. No visible oral discs.
Yeah, all right, Doctor. I didn't ask for a marine biology lecture.
This mission drags on so much. Sometimes I think you're gonna take off without me, sir.
Don't count on it, Doctor. I'm not going anywhere.
Astrogator, Gorski's not here. I'm afraid he continued to explore. And if he went where I think he did, he might have lost contact with the camp as well as Dragonfly.
So we will most likely lose contact too.
Possibly. Well, there's only one way to be certain. It's your decision, sir.
Please continue your search. We have to find him.
That's the unwritten rule, isn't it? Under no circumstances do we leave anyone behind.
That's right, Doctor. You can lose everything else, but you have to have the crew on board. The living and the dead. This is one of the most crucial imperatives, even though it's not in the regulations.
The line's breaking up, but I understood. I'll let you know, sir, when I come out of the tunnel.
Altitude 24,000. Speed 250 knots with the hopper. Already at 12,000. Throttle down. 30 seconds till touchdown. Everything's looking good. Over?
Roger that.
Altitude 5,000. Ignition 10%. I record data dropout, but otherwise still looking good. Entering final descent. 47 miles.
Copy. Entering final. Hopper has landed. I repeat, Hopper has landed. Astrogator, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Any side effects? Landing wasn't too hard on you?
All good? Spine still in one piece. No signs of overstrain. Not even shortness of breath.
Perfect. Hopefully the hike to camp goes just as smoothly.
I'm going outside.
Visibility?
100%. The dust has already settled. I've located the second lander. Our people are still on this planet.
Ah, very good. I was afraid they might try to fly off, which wouldn't be the best idea given the loss of communication with Dragonfly.
Sir, something's wrong.
What is it?
The hatch is half open. Did they report hydraulics failure?
How should I know? You were the last person in contact with the crew, Doctor.
Right. I'm inside.
And? How is it?
For now, we have to assume that we are left with only one lander.
Is it that bad?
You don't need to be a technician to see that Beetle's lost its buzz.
That's unfortunate. I'm taking Hopper out of here. I'll send it directly to the camp as soon as we find a suitable landing zone.
Astrogator, I don't know what we expected. Coming here at the end of our expedition, the equipment is barely working. If it works at all. And you, sir. You barely escaped alive. Okay, I admit that we have a very successful campaign behind us, but I feel like we've used up all our luck. And now, we're asking for trouble. It's just one planet too many for us.
Which doesn't change the fact we're here. Let's focus on completing this mission. There won't be another.
It better be that way. We have the right to come home at last.
I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with such a law, but there is one thing I can refer to when we find ourselves in a difficult situation. If the continuation of the mission endangers the lives of the crew, the provisions of the imprimis homini law apply. First and foremost, the safety of people is what matters.
The situation is bad, Astrogator, though it wasn't much better at the beginning of the mission. Whoever sent us here didn't care about our safety at all.
Enough! Please don't put me in an even more difficult position. Rejecting a new mission and questioning the validity of the current one are two different issues. And you're one step away from disciplinary action, Doctor.
Copy that. Over and out. Whoa. Damn. You were right, Cobble. It's beautiful here. I have an object in sight. This is where they searched the ocean's biocenosis.
Meaning... oh, where they caught that fish, right?
Yeah. They stopped here first, then walked along the coastline northward.
Correct. But I think you might consider taking a shortcut towards the east, straight to the camp.
Just need to find the right route. break.
How do you know? Are there any signs of the crew?
I found a cigarette butt and a pack. Someone was smoking here.
So, they didn't give a damn about the regulations.
Disrupting the ecosystem.
That's not the point. I understand you want to minimize the effects of our interference here, Doctor, but the mission's safety is at stake. I don't think I have to explain to you the dangers of igniting a dusty atmosphere. Preserving the integrity of Regis 3's already extinct ecosystem is not a priority in this scenario. Negligible, actually.
Security procedures exist for humans. The rule of integrity is for the sake of everything alien to us. We shouldn't place one above the other.
What are you saying, Yasna? The mission and the safety of our people have the highest priority. Always.
Always? Are we really that self-righteous?
Of course, Doctor. We must be the most important to our...
Excuse my interruption, sir. Can you please confirm that I'm on the correct route?
Yes, I confirm. This rate will reach the camp within an hour. So, continuing. In the end, the strongest will survive. Isn't that how evolution works?
Not in a biological sense, Astrogator. Besides, I'm not convinced if we should interfere with everything alien to us just because we can.
Doctor, interference is at the heart of human nature. Man would still be a monkey if he'd only looked at trees instead of cutting them down.
Yes, we have a nasty nature. This route may be faster, but it's not the easiest. Anyway, back to our conversation. This? Astrogator, I found a peculiar inorganic structure. It looks like some spiky metal growths.
Artificial plants? Is spontaneous growth possible with this type of structure?
I've never seen anything like this. I wish I had time to run some tests.
When the situation is stabilized, we will take samples. I promise.
I feel nauseous. Suddenly.
Been on the surface for just under half an hour.
That's not it. I feel darkness. Hang on. Are you there? Over. I guess that's a no.
I'm back.
Is everything all right?
Yes, all good. They're already in the infirmary on life support. You found them in time.
How about their reactions? Have they regained consciousness? I mean, maybe one of them said something.
Well, unfortunately, they're still unresponsive. I'll let you know if anything changes. I'm doing an EEG on them right now.
Guess I know where Gorska was going. I confirm, Gorski was here. His rope is still hanging from the slope.
That's a good sign. Since he left it, he intends to come back this way.
Why hasn't he yet? Going down after him. Tell me one more thing. What did you do with Koval?
I put him in the infirmary, on a drip.
Is he still calmer than Dr.
Just a report.
One sec. Oh, I'm at the end of the rope.
Isn't that good?
Not at all.
What do you mean?
I'm stuck. I'm hanging with all my weight on the rope, away from the wall. There's still a fair few meters left to the ground.
Can you go back?
Using just my hands, strapped with all this extra weight? No, not a chance.
What if you sway?
I can just jump off.
Is that safe?
A substantial fall on unsteady ground. This is hardly a maneuver that I would describe as safe.
So let's take a moment to analyze the situation.
I'm thinking, if Gorski went down this way and didn't break anything...
Yeah, we don't know that, Yasna. He could keep going even with injuries.
All right, so do you have another idea? Oh, will I be hanging like this until the end of time itself?
There is a certain possibility, or rather uncertain, but maybe it's worth trying.
I'm listening.
Can you see the probe?
Yes. It's flying near me.
Good. If I instructed it to fly as close as possible to you, you could grab onto it.
You sure it will hold me?
That I cannot guarantee.
All right, let's give it a try.
I'm entering the instruction. You must guide me.
Two meters forward. Stop, that's enough.
You have a really good eye. Exactly 2 meters. Is the maneuver complete?
You could say so. I fell from a lower height. It was a soft landing, though.
We had our last contact with Regis a few minutes after noon. Even then, Dr. Gorski was walking alone. Communications blew up shortly before he got here. He didn't take a tent.
Damn. What is this place? Makes my skin crawl. It's all made up of these structures. Except they don't look like creations of nature anymore.
Maybe that's why Dr. Gorski, not to mention the Alliance.
Well, if we're looking for something on this planet, this could be it. These structures form entire multi-story complexes. They look like a city.
Are you saying that...
No. There's no point in jumping to conclusions yet. Are you receiving a signal?
What signal?
From Dr. Gorski.
No, none. Why are you asking?
He tried to open up a connection, set up a transmitter.
There's nothing on the comms, but I'll check the record history. Please give me a moment.
Dr. Gorski set up the flags.
So, he kept going, despite the lack of communication with the rest.
You'd have to see it with your own eyes, sir. This place. Gorski may have lost himself in his discovery.
Are you joking, Doctor? Lost himself, Gorski. He may not have respect for the unknown, but he has his feet firmly on the ground. Should be looking for a way back by now.
I think he must have discovered something. And since he suffers from excessive ambition, he's capable of stupid acts in the name of a breakthrough.
Well, I admit, that sounds more like him. You must trace his steps, Doctor.
I'm working on it. I can't even see the bottom.
The structures go that deep.
Yes. I dread to think. What if Dr. Gorski fell down there?
I took that into account when calibrating the probe. It will examine the bottom. I'll let you know if I find him.
The height of the entire complex is over 100 meters. Even 150.
And all made of this metal.
To a significant degree. If something were to live here,
Yes?
it would have to be very small. Like insects. On the other hand, there's no flora around to support such organisms. Left or right? All right. I'll squeeze through the passage.
2 more hours.
Huh?
That's all Gorski has left of oxygen, at best.
And at worst?
He's just finishing it up. Though it all depends on his activity.
Unfortunately, I can't go any faster.
Of course. I should have kept it to myself.
No. You did the right thing, sir. I prefer to have a full overview of the situation. These constructions don't have a clear division into functions. They're huge, complicated, and uniform at the same time.
Do you have any idea where all this could have come from? I'm aware without tests you can't do much. But let's say on first inspection.
I don't know what to think. It's an absolute phenomenon. An anomaly on a cosmic scale. Inconceivable.
Come on, Doctor. You're a scientist. Isn't this a perfect challenge for you?
A challenge, yes, but I really can't do much without equipment. I can't tell if any of this could be part of a machine. Really wish we found Gorski already. No. No point in going back this way. Ah. I see the probe. Has it found anything?
It's not making any measurements at the moment.
Oh, why?
The overload protection is activated. Until I do a reset, it's on manual control.
Is it because of my flight?
It's possible, but please don't worry about it. What matters is that you're fine.
Wouldn't it be better if I helped you? I can close it manually after all.
I'd need some direction, sir. I'd bring it to you.
No problem. I'm on it. It's a bit like Pando.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Doctor.
A colony of populous tremoloids. American aspen. The new trees grow not from seeds, but from root suckers of old trees. As a result, it's one giant organism, thousands of years old.
So you're in a dead metal forest?
Huh, that does sound bizarre. Though maybe.
How's the terrain? Those structures, are they still everywhere?
Yep, wherever I look, there's metal.
Doctor, something has been recorded after all. But there are plenty of errors in the transmission header. It's hard to say whether this is a message from Gorski.
Well then, sir, play it. Maybe we'll finally find out what's going on with the doctor.
Let's hope so.
Gorski to base. I repeat, this is Gorski. Base, come in.
No doubt. It's him. Now let's keep listening. But as soon as you report anything, Doctor, I'll stop the recording.
Bugger. Confirmation again. I report. I've made an amazing discovery. Geometric structures like thick, bushy, pointed rods and slats. Mostly iron, but not only. Molybdenum, carbon, tungsten. Altogether similar to a giant integrated circuit. A million swarm of tangled cables. Not a trace of electric current, polarity, not even residual magnetism. Maybe once upon a time, centuries ago, petawatts or exawatts of power flowed this way. To compare with something, it's probably a machine. Some kind of information collective structure. Maybe it was some kind of electronic brain. It makes me think of the Lyrans, a race of extinct sentient beings. Supposedly, they knew about light astrogation before we invented the wheel. They had to save themselves from the explosion of Nova. They send ships. The remains of those ships have been found, ashed to a chip glued together. I've seen hypothetical schematics. The structures here remind me of those. Okay, moving on. Readings.
Well, that's it. What follows is just a humming noise. Any thoughts, Doctor?
So far, it all leads to one conclusion. This is not a place for a man, nor for any humanoids.
Then who is it for?
Maybe it's really an alien technology. Those Lyrans.
As far as I know, all information about the Lyran civilization is just guesswork. Many consider Lyrans to be just a myth, so I wouldn't take it too seriously.
Well, I think there might be something to it.
By the way, you were right, Doctor. Gorski did lose himself in his discovery, in spite of everything.
I can see the relay up close. Looks broken. This is starting to look like a deliberate diversion to me.
You may be right. The question is, who's behind all these disruptive activities?
That I don't know, sir. There are more traces, this time handprints, and a drop detector.
What? Did I hear you right?
Yes, sir. You heard me right. As if you fell and then crawled on all fours.
Bloodstains?
No. Luckily, nothing like that.
Now, what is it?
I took a shortcut.
On purpose?
Not really. I found something. Again.
I'm listening.
I suspect Gorski might have damaged his suit.
If the tear doesn't exceed 20 millimeters, the reactive polymer layers will self-seal.
That's true. Nevertheless, it looks worse and worse. I found more of his gear.
Back in the camp, you reported Merritt's abandoned things.
A backpack and a journal, yes. This scene looks disturbingly similar.